Alrighty, Doc here. I just wanted to hear all the numbers. So it was positive numbers, I guess you could say. Labor participation 62.2. So that kind of scared the market. First it was Dow was up 200 points. I'll show you it in the short term. You see the news came out right there. Let's make this the bigger one. Let's see, where is it at? Let's do this. We'll do the smallest one. There you go. So this is that it? Let's move this over just a little bit, like so. There it is. Okay, let's scrunch it up. That'll help out. So there it is right there. The news came out. It popped to 60 and then dropped to 20. And now then it ran to 50. This is the S&P 500. Now we're just kind of parked around underneath the 50 area. Up for the day still. And that's the action we see from this news. So average hourly earnings up 0.4%. 0.5% almost. Jobs added in October were 261,000. I think they were looking for like 218 or something like that. So they're seeing this as a lot of strength. And so, they see, that's one of the things the Fed has said they need to see, is to see unemployment increase. They want to see unemployment increase. I don't know how you can say things like that when you have a third of the workforce being paid not to work. So it's very confusing. It's sometimes people make decisions. In other words, the institutions and the government make decisions that don't exactly make a lot of sense. They make sense if everything was normal, but we're in the world of QE, so how can you measure normal now? I know Mr. Obama used to walk around saying this is the new normal, get used to it, but it's not the new normal, and it's not going to last. It's got to go away sooner or later. It's been 12 years now. 14 years. It's 14 years now that this has been going on. It's time to stop. We've had enough. It's time. Stop printing. The whole planet is bankrupt from the whole thing. It's ridiculous. So, just is what it is. Hey, Metho 2000. Hooray for us. It is TGIF. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. And a lot of you, it's already Saturday. So that's even, wow, cool. Good afternoon. There we go. So, yeah. All right. Let's go over to the dollar index. See what's going on there. Let's see. Right. There we are. There's the dollar index, and the dollar is firm still, I guess. We'll put it up on J4X. There it is on J4X. And you can see, there's something interesting. As you can see, the green line is, it's up pretty high to begin with. It's in the 90 area. And it's trying to roll over a little bit, so that kind of makes some sense. But we got a lot of green there, and it's been up. Let's see what it's doing over here. But I would imagine that the dollar is still very firm. Let's see. Right there is the dollars index. So we'll see it in a raw value. Okay, yeah, it's moving down. How about that? Okay. So that curve in the little green makes sense. You see our green is curving. We got no dots at the moment, and it's heading down. So let's just take a look at the euros. The euro must be lifting up from this. Yeah, see, the euro is lifting up. And it's right on the edge of... what is it doing there? Is it plus or minus? I don't think we have a check mark. Let's get the check mark going, too. Style, and let's give it the green check mark. There we go. And the answer to that is it's still minus to the weekly, just by a hair of its chinny chin chin. We got a whole day. We got a day to see what the action does. We got 8 hours of good trading here still. Is it 8 hours? So it'd be 3.5 to noon, and 4 to 5. So 8.5 hours to the end of trading here for the week. So we'll see what they do with all that. Indeed. All right. So from there, let's put up the euro over on J4X. And there it is right there. No, that's the Turkish lira. There it is right there. So it's been working its way down, but we have a little push going up. You can see it, nothing major, but enough on the weekly to have it. Now look at that. The weekly is actually plus. As we look over, you can see the green right here. There's the green right there telling us where it's at each time with the zero line. It was just 20, now it's 10. Now it's 9. You can see it ticking away live. There's 8. Now it's 9. Now it's 4. So they're flirting with the zero line. So they're saying big divergence between the household survey versus the employer survey. Revisions to August and September show 29,000 more jobs created than previously reported. Interesting. Very interesting. And so it looks like they're moving the Dow back up again. Dow don't care. Dow don't care. So we must be in the 50s. Oh, yeah, we got up to the 70s now. Look at that right there. On the, well, let's do this one right there. We got up to the 70 area. The high was 69.50. Backed off a little bit. And so that's the action we're seeing there. And what else can we say? I guess that's about it there. It seems like I myself have a hard time believing that they want to do any of this stuff. You know, I mean, knock it down. I really do. But you know, we'll watch it. We'll see how it trades for a while. See, if, you know, look at the daily. Let's just show you the S&P 500 daily. Right there. You see it's still on a daily sell. The weekly has been in the weekly buy all week long, so it's not giving it up, and I thought that was very impressive. I saw crude oil this morning up over $3. Mr. Biden, no matter where he tries to take oil, obviously there's pressure on that market. I was wondering when that market would rebound because of it. You know, I just kept on thinking, we're in a daily buy. You know, matter of fact, let's put it up on there. We're in a daily buy and a weekly buy. And it's like, you know, lots of pressure there. Lots of pressure. This is the third day now. Trading at 91.63 with a high of 91.86. So, wow. You know, there's a lot of pressure on the upside. I bet Brent is trading at like 97. Let's see where Brent is. Brent, where are you? And let's see what Brent looks like this morning. 98.05, 98.06, 98s are bid for. 98.12, 98.10 offers, 98.08 offers, 3 bids, 2 bids. Watch them trade. There they go. Watch them trade. Yes, indeed. Let's see what else we got going on here. All right. So now let's get back to the currencies. And let's go right to the cable. And there it is right there. In the 112s now. It's better than being in the 111s, that's for sure. And we got a lot of red there, but and you can see we're burying it down here at the bottom, so it must be trying to turn at the same time. So let's take a look at that. Looky on the cable, and there's the cable. You know, cleanly down on the algorithm itself. It's perked up its head a little bit right there, and this is not as lucky as. Let's fix that. And let's show you where the zero line is. See that right there? It's trading at minus 402. So the pressure is on the cable much more than it is on the euro. And that's the action to be, or not to be. And that's where we're really seeing at this point in time is that the cable, you know, just got into that weekly buy last week. I thought, okay, we're ready to roll. And what did they do on Friday? There's the Friday. Is that the Friday? No, that was Monday. Monday they throw it in a daily sell. So it's like, oh, you get long there on Friday, and then you're right out of it again on Monday. Take a hit, you lose, give up some of the do-re-mi you've won. And the key word there is some, not all. And then you can see right here, you know, it's been telling us to not get long all week long. So, and now we're underneath the zero line as we speak. And so it's even worse. Now, will they get some strength into the afternoon with 8+ hours still left to trade? Possibly. I guess they'll have to come out with something. Dow is just washing back and forth. up 200, up 100 now. I bet we're at like 55 or something like that in the S&P 500. No, we're down to 41. So we've gone from almost 70 down to 41. So just when you thought it was safe to get back into the water, uh-oh, dun, 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 dun. It just keeps on rolling. All right, from there we zip back to the currencies. We take a look at Mr. and Mrs. Swiss right there. Speaking of which, I saw one of the wild stories of the day. Let me see if we can put that up there. Let's put this story up there. It's about the swaps, the Federal Reserve swaps. There we go. And they said this is one of the highest months they've had since like 2011. Where is it at? It's around here. There it is. Okay. And let's go to the swaps. It was a good article. Flip mortgage rate double. Futures jump on China reopening rumors. I saw that. Where'd the swaps? Oh, there it is. Here we go. Here's the article. Coming to you now. You'll see it on the screen. Right there it says, market liquidity collapses as usage of Fed foreign reserve repo hits record $351 billion and biggest weekly jump in history. When I saw the chart, let me show you the chart. Where's that chart at? Right there. You can see that we also had a big move, here. But notice it's been getting thicker and thicker and thicker. In other words, it's basically getting bigger with the repo market. It just shows you that the quantitative easing is not doing that good a job. That's what it really shows us. It shows us the quantitative easing is having its issues, And that's really what's going on there. From there, we go over to the Swiss right there. There's the Swiss. And you can see over on J4X, we put the Swiss up there too. Let's move that down like so. We're trading, oh no, that's New Zealand Swiss. We went dollar Swiss. There it is. Par 60. I think we've seen par 70 yesterday. Yesterday's high was it was 101.47. And today it's trading almost a full handle lower at 100.59. So that's pretty good. They've started to back it off, but we're still in the daily buy, the weekly buy, and we have no idea why the pressure has been on Switzerland minus the private bank. The Federal Reserve's been sending repo cash over to them. That's why I thought I'd mention the repo thing. We've seen almost 10 billion go to Switzerland over the last 4 weeks. So liquidity in Switzerland's a little thin, or or maybe I've always thought this. I'm going to say this out loud, and I think I've said it before, but no one's really paid attention to it probably. But more than likely, with the U.S. Federal Reserve being the world reserve currency now, I mean, like officially, and everybody accepts it and so forth, and everybody else is bankrupt to begin with. Maybe that's part of the obligation. In other words, they're obligated. If some company like Deutsche Bank, if Deutsche Bank needs something now, more than likely it doesn't come from the German Republic Bank itself. It probably comes from the Federal Reserve. In other words, if you're going to wear the mantle of being the big bull in the in the pasture, you got to service the heifers. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. And so, that's. I would imagine that's the responsibility they've taken. That's why the world central banks are willing to put up with the shenanigans that they're doing here. I imagine that would be it. Or they're just all a bunch of bureaucrats and they don't really care. It's one or the other at this point. All right, from there we go over to the yen. There's the yen. You see it went into a daily sell. No, it still didn't because we had a green dot. Now we're getting into the daily sell today. It's playing with it as we speak. So we're seeing that, but we're still in that weekly buy there. Now when we dance our way over to the Swiss, where are you? And go to the yen. There's the yen. You see it's green. That one's got nothing in it. No, it's got a little green in there in the middle. You see the green line's trying to curve. Maybe it's going to give us an ABC down. Maybe I still am convinced that we're going to see a weaker dollar over the next, I don't know, 3-6 months, something like that. So you would assume that markets will start anticipating that, which I think they're doing right now. And that's what the yen is trying to tell us. A sip of the tea. So, no adult beverage yet. It's only like 9 o'clock in the morning here in the United States. So, all right. From there, we jump over to the Turkish lira. Let's see what they're doing with that. There is the dollar Turkish lira right there. And we'll throw that up on the old screen. There we are. Well, you can see it's trying to pop back up. We got a red and green going on. There's some strength in there. This is 39 weeks. It looks like with this type of action, we'll probably survive another week in a weekly buy. So next week, we'll be coming in probably with 40 weeks in a weekly buy with just 12 to go. And that'll be kind of cool if we get another 52 weeker. Last time, I think we got 54 last time that went on a tear. 54 weeks in a weekly buy. All right, from there, also we start to have to worry about end of year. End of year can really tangle up the marketplace. So next thing you know, the Federal Reserve is forced to lend even more money. That's what happens when you're the big bull in the pasture. You got to take care of the heifers. All right, so there it is right there. You can see the Euro Turkish lira trying to lift up. Been in a daily sell for 5 days. And it is dancing underneath the manifold right here. But I don't know if we're really going to get a change there. I don't think so. I think that's next week's business, as I would say. And then let's put it up over here. There it is right there, Euro Turkish lira. All that red. And we got the same thing. Bunches of red dots, no green. And it's going to take a little bit work. A little work there to get it into the green. They're talking about the labor force participation rate again. September was 62.3 and October is 62.2. And the Dow is now... excuse me. The Dow now is... excuse me again. Is up almost 200 points. So let's just take a look again. See what they're doing. And we're trading at 54 instead of 44. So that's cool. Was it 40? Maybe it was 40. That's what it was, 40 down here. So they've lifted it up to 65 on that move. And now we're back down in here again. We'll see. Again, the world is full of funny money. That's pretty much what it comes down to. What do I call it? Mathematical magic. Something like that. It's mathematical magic. Now, let's go to... Where do we go to? Let's go over to the Canadian dollar. How about that? Let's check out the Canadian dollar. There's CAD. They're taking that down. That's because why, traders? Mr. and Mrs. Crude. Look at Mr. and Mrs. Crude being taken up. So I can't wait to see what gold and South African rand are doing. I haven't looked at them today. And let's see, we'll go back to the Canadian. We'll put that up on J4X. There it is right there. See? Working down. And then we go and look at the crude oil. Let's see, West Texas. We've already seen where they're rocking the Brent. It's just muscling its way up. It's done a correction and it's trying to climb again. Up, up, and away in my beautiful crude contract. And we go back to the crude contract here. And you see that strength. And that's why Canadian is doing so well. And, holding up in the weekly with both on the crude. And let's go take a look at it one more time. And one more time, and you can see here we are We missed going into a sell last week, but this week they're really battling to get us there. So it looks like we are going to have a weekly sell. And maybe that is a sign of strength to come in the crude oil market. That's probably what's going to be. Like I said, I was always curious to see how that was going to play out. You know, I didn't have a lot of confidence. You know, I just don't. You know, I kind of had a hard time believing they could hold the oil market down, especially with winter coming on. All right, from there we're going to slide over to gold. See where gold is right there. It wasn't a daily buy for the last three. This is the third day now. They tried to take it down hard yesterday, failed at it. They are flirting back with the weekly sell as we speak right there. Oh, no, wait a minute. It's plus now. We can get rid of the little pink line again, or pink circle. So you can see there, it's 408. So it was down today, and then now it's back up, and they're putting some buying into this action. So we go over to South African Rand. And we'll go over to J4X and take a peek at it first. Right. I just saw it. There it is. So we're down at 1812. You can see that pressure's on. We'll show it to you here on Chicago Quant. There it is. Same situation. Maybe they take out these lows. Maybe they take out that low. Maybe finally get a run. And we got pretty much without. The only thing missing is silver at this point. Everything else is pushing into the buy. The copper is in a buy, and it's in a buy, and the gold is in a buy. So on a weekly basis. So we're sitting there saying, what's next? You would assume silver joins in, and they really start to take this metals market up. All right. So that basically completes the two currency pairs that match up to commodities. Now what we'll do is we will jump over to the Mexican peso. Mexican peso. Mexican peso. Right there. You see it's been pressing down. We saw how it was dancing. Where's it at? 53. Yesterday it was around 1970. They did an interesting bounce out of that, but let's see. Let's put it in here. And now they're going after 3 days ago's low again. Still in that sell. It's been in the sell now, for a couple of weeks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So 3, 3, and 3. That's 9, and 2 is 11. 11 days now in a sell. 11 good old days. And it's been in a weekly sell for the same time period. So it's 2 full weeks now, and it looks like it's going to be closing today, a third full week in a sell. So the Mexican peso, which we think is going to benefit, remember, when it's going down in value, it's gaining against the dollar because it's dollar peso. So not peso dollar. And so that's positive for the peso and negative for the dollar. So again, we see all the signs that the dollar should be pretty much firm and steady, and shouldn't be giving us too much of a problem anywhere along the line. And that is the gist of it all, basically. Alrighty, from there, where do we go from there? We're done, right? We did yen, we did Canadian, we've done them all. Swiss. If anybody wants to see anything particular in the currency realm, just give a yell. We'll go look at it. Another sip of my tea. But if not, we will jump over to The current, not the currencies, the metals. Let's take a look at Silverado. Silver. It's in a daily buy for 4 days now. And, oh, look at that. The weekly is joining in. Cool. The weekly is joining in. That's really what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. All right. Then, from there we go over to J4X and put silver in. I'm sure there's some green growing out of that one. Right there. There it is. Green, 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 and it's turning green here too at the same time. So they're all matching up well to our math, and it's pushing up, up, and away. And after that, it's, let's see. They're showing the numbers. So S&P 500 is down 22% since, for the year. The Tech 100 is down 34%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 14%. Interesting combination all the way around. They just threw that up on the screen. Well worth thinking about. All right, so you can see here we're getting into a weekly buy. We are flirting very easily with that. It doesn't take much to get it to go at this point. We just haven't had the go. I mean, we just don't get the buyers. And then there was a story. I saw something about a story. It was a very interesting story. Let me point this out. Since we got stories floating around in here. Here's no, not that one. Let's see, where is it at? It's around here somewhere. I guess I gotta open it up again. And so there was a story about, let's see, where's it at? Right there. So there was a story about someone sold 300 tons of gold. Let me put that up on the screen. And I started going through it, just kind of, it was okay. It didn't, I wasn't totally excited about it one way or the other. Because, for every buyer, there's a seller and so forth. And they threw out names. Who could have been the one that sold the $300 billion? So let me see if I can find it. Not there. Let's go with here. Okay, I think we got it now. Let's see. There it is right there. Here's the article right there. Gold market rolled, or roiled, I guess you could say, as mystery buyer waves 300 tons of gold. And then they had, a bunch of speculation on who it could be. They looked at the producers in the world. There's a pie chart of the world. Trying to, producers anywhere from 9% from China to 5% in the United States. And then it looks at oil exports in India and the whole bit. It's kind of interesting. So was it China, Russia, or the Saudis, or India, and why? They try to make a case. One of those countries was selling 300 tons of gold. So maybe they needed it. Could be the Russ, because with all the war the way it's going, they got to do something. They could always buy it back. They know that the Fed is going to keep it cheap no matter what. So I thought that was an interesting article. That's on Zero Hedge, and it's called, what's the title of the, if you want to look it up yourself, it's called Gold Market Roiled, R-O-I-L-E-D, as mystery buyer waves 300 tons. Yeah, gold. Interesting. All right, from there, you see silver there. Let's put up copper. And you can see it's in the weekly and daily buy. Oh, look at copper. There's been rumors again, and that rumor we had 2 days ago, out again today, about getting rid of the zero COVID and opening up the Chinese economy again. They got to do something. They got to do something, that's for sure. Indeed, indeed. Interesting, interesting. All right, now let's put it up on J4X. Let's see what copper must be looking like a moonshot on that thing too. Where's it at? Where are you at? Kappa, kappa. Kappa, kappa. There it is right there. So you can see that big spike that's going on, just like over here on Chicago quant charts, and they're not looking back, that's for sure. And what are we doing? We're seeing some challenging numbers. We haven't been up this high since September, I guess. Okay, interesting. It looks like it's holding up in the weekly buy, where it did flirt at one point from all this weak action in the beginning of the week. So now they're really starting to turn it up. Turn it up. Let it lift. Lift up and separate. All right. From there we go to let's see. Let's go to we talked about this, the way it was acting. And there's platinum. But it's not taking out this week's high. That's the difference there. And you can see it's getting back into the daily buy. That red dot will disappear soon. And you can see the second week of a weekly buy. Hooray for it. Let's move that up. Move that up. There we are. All right. From there, unless there's some questions, we will drift over to the energy sector. Right there. There's crude oil. Front month trading at $92 a barrel. Been in the weekly buy now for 3 whole weeks from the 85 area. And we went into the daily buy basically in this area in the 89 or something like that. 90 area, on Wednesday. And it's holding up pretty well here. We finally got the juice from that signal. Heading to the back month, let's take a look at the February contracts. That's 4 days in a buy from the 86 area, and now we're trading at this. That's a lot better. That's up $4 compared to the other one from the daily buy. It's only up like $2.50. So we're seeing the back month. Is that right? Yeah, look at that. Back month is 89.91, almost 90, and it went into the daily buy at 85.84. And we've been in a weekly buy with that for 3 whole weeks, also from the 82 area. So it's gone to almost 90. So that's an $8 move in 2 full weeks. Pretty cool. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now, from there, we go to, let's put Brent up there for the last of the 3 of the crude contracts. There's Brent right there. Is that Brent? Yeah. And it's trading at 98.46. So it's got almost like, what is that? Where are we at? 92? So it's a $6 premium of West Texas. Wow. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And then you can see Nat Gas holding up pretty well in here. They tried to push it into a sell yesterday, but the numbers didn't pan out by the end of this morning. They were gone. It was gone. And we're still in that long weekly sell, though. Interesting. And let's put up the natural gas, which is priced in cubic feet. Cubic foot. Right there. You see that pressure there. And, we've been doing the same as they're doing with the J4X. Lots of green. Lots of green. Not going anywhere particular, but it's there. Now what we do is we get a little eye or a little view of what's going on in Europe by looking at the Spanish oil contract or oil company itself. Now, like I said, I mention it every day when we put it up. We've seen it trade in the $30, $31 area. No more than like a month ago, we saw it back off down to the 22.5 area. You see that right? Is that it? Yeah, there it is right there. And then it was threatening there underneath 22.5. And today we saw trading at the beginning of the week in the 26s, like 26.20, 26.30, and now we see 25.19. There is some real news out there. Like, there's a good chance there are polls getting really wild, and there's that super majority that I keep on talking about is getting closer to a reality. I think they're going to get, I don't know, 70 seats. Some people are now getting brave and saying 50 some odd seats, but I still think that they're going to get between 70 and 75 seats. I think it's going to be wild. Just wild. And that should open the door for a renewal of our economy and oil and just more positive stuff, for everybody, and getting life back together again in a good way, not in a crazy way, the way it's been, especially these last 2 years with the COVID. They'd use COVID to stall and hurt the economy all the time. It's so sad. All right. From there, we look at we'll go look at the stock indices, of course. How could I have been wrong? How could I have not realized that? Let's go look at the stock indices. And so the first one we'll go take a look at is, as we close that one page, and we'll just open up another page. There we are. Now let's go over to, okay, well that's the S&P, and you can see it's trading at 80 now. This should do it soon. It'll change. And we'll go take a look at the daily on the S&P. So let's put it up on J4X first. Let's see, where is it at? Right there. There's the S&P 500. You see it's trying to turn around. There it is. And let's put the S&P 500 up on the screen here. And you can see there it's at the highs of the day. It's just pushing up and away. And, we'll go from there, of course, but that's exactly what's happening. Let me think. What else are we looking at here? Got nothing else, really. It's threatening. I guess we have to get a little bit more juice in it today. How much is it up? Let's take a look and see. I think it's up about 60 points now, is it? It is up. Where is it at? I guess we'll go back to the other screen. It'll show us. There it is right there. It's up 48 points right there. 48 points. Let's see if we can make this a little bigger for you. That's the appearance. Price scale, status line, there it is. There we are. So it's 49. Can you see that on there? I don't think you can. I guess if we go like this and move it over. I guess we gotta go like that. There we are. And just go like that. There we are. And then you can see that right there. Where isn't that? There it is, right above the ES sign. And it's up 52 points now. And so they're doing some buying in there. More buying. Buy, 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 buy. I mean, we're going to have a change of government here that could be the most historical thing since 1871. How many times did I talk about that? And people were like, wow, you know, you're crazy. You be crazy. You be crazy. I be crazy. That's what it is. Doc is kind of wild and crazy, and usually Doc is usually right. That's the weird part. Not only am I kind of crazy, but I'm usually right. See if we can make that bigger. Biggerish. There we are. Is that doing it? There we are. So, yep, you can see that there. It's pushing up right there. That's the 52 now. 53.25. Is that the highs of the day? The highs of the day are 781. We're at the highs of the day because it's trading at 80 and change. All right, so that's the pressure there. Let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. That thing's up 300 points or so. There it is there. Playing with the daily buy as we speak. See the strength there. It's in the weekly buy for 3 full weeks now. And you can see that pressure on the upside. And they're pushing on it. And they ain't letting go. Not letting go. 351 points now. And you can see it there. There it is, 357 as we speak. Let's make this little line here. See if we can make that line a little bit bigger. There it is. And there it is right there, 360 points now. Up 1 point something percent there. So we can change that background a little bit. Like that. Maybe that makes it clearer, right? And you can see the daily buy number pushing with no problem. And this is the index. We've talked about it over and over and over again. That the index itself is the one index that everybody wants. So it's only down like 14% for the year, maybe even less, 13.5%. Whereas the S&P 500 is down like 22% or 23%. And then when we go steer ourselves over to the tech community, who's incredibly interest sensitive, we see that is down 34 or 33%, but it's trying to lift up. And are they plus? It is. It's up 180 points today. So they're really lifting on it. But look at it, it's having problems. It's 3 days in a sell now. So it's barely just getting back to where it got to the sell. And we're still in that weekly sell in the Tech 100. Let's see, it's tight. Where's that? There it is. We can tighten it up like that. There we go. And you can see there, it's in much tougher situation. Much tougher. And again, because it's very interest sensitive. And that's what the problem is. Now that doesn't belong in there. We can remove that. And that's a green. That's got to go over like that. So, and that one can be moved over like so. There we go. And we can widen it out a little bit like so. So you can get a better flavor of it. But it's been in a weekly sell for weeks now. What is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks. 12? 2, 4, 6, 7. There, that's 7. 8, 9, 10. This is the 10th week. 10 weeks in a sell, and it doesn't look like it's shifting gears yet. Maybe, like I said, we got a couple hours still. I mean, we got, we got, was that 3 and 5 is 8? We got 7 hours and 45 minutes still to go. Indeed, indeed. All right. Now, from there, we go over to the last one. I expect this index to be lifting strong, and that is the Russell 2000. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Up into the 18s already again. And weekly is battling hard to try to get into that plus. Let's see if we can do this. Let's change that background like that. Let's make the algorithm thickerish so you can see it better on the screen, like so. There we are. And you can see that now much better. See, it's just right underneath it. And at the same time, let's see if we can make that any better. Right price, format price scale. I don't think we can. I guess we can make it. Let's see if we can do this. Format price scale. Let's see what it does. Maybe we can make the fonts thicker. Something like that. Bold. That's it. There we go. Let's click that. There we are. Let's see if that does it. So you can see there, it is battling and it's trying, and you can see on the daily algorithm, it's trying also there at the same time. We're trying to get some strength in there. There we go. And so that's the pressure we see right there. It's trying. It is trying. And if that gets into a plus today, then I think the markets really start to take off. I mean, we start to see some real hot and heavy action. All right, let's save that. And we'll go like this and save this. And we're going to jump over to Bitcoin now. Save as. Save. All right, now, yes. Now let's jump over to Bitcoin, because that is a classic. And I think it closed in a daily buy yesterday. So, again, as usual, it's trying to lead. The new asset class is trying to lead, yes. No, it's okay. So it's just today it's pushing in there. That's what it is. And it's in a 1 week and a weekly buy there. And, it had an interesting move here, but it didn't go down and challenge any lows in here. And it looks like more like it wants to go to the 22,000 area like it did back in September, early September. I guess it was September 13th. We saw it up at the 22,000 area. So that's kind of interesting. We're seeing that push into it. I'm wondering if we should do every 2 months. So in other words, when this goes, maybe we should do not the December contract, but go to the January contract. That might make more sense, because this is much more updated than the October contract was. What else can we say about any of this? It did get into the sell for 2 days there, but it was in a weekly buy, so you can't get short, And I bet that red dot disappears. And let's put it up on J4X. We didn't take a look at the other two in there, so let's do this too. There's J4X. There's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's probably looking very well. That red will start to disappear because we are green already and in the daily buy. But when we go over to the Tech 100, and let's move this thing out of the way a little bit, like that. You can see the line is still moving down. Let me just show you again, because I forgot to put it up on J4X there. There it is right there. See, it's pushing through right now, just teeny weeny little bit right there, trying to get through the buy. All right, and then the NAS right there, and let's put the NAS up on there. That's the Tech 100. Right there. You see all that action, still red. We're threatening it'll start to switch with it staying up in here like that. And we're not going to. Doesn't look like we'll get into a buy unless they really run this market today. But you can see it's green and it's trying to hold up, and we'll see how they take it from there. Now, from there we drift over to the Bitcoin. Let's get Bitcoin in there. Right there. You see it's trying to lift just like us, with that green going on. Let's go back to the Bitcoin. Where's it at? Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. Right there. Yeah, see, it's really battling. And so is J4X, trying to get into that buy. Alrighty, what else can we say about any of these? I guess that's about it when it comes to our Magical Mystery Tour, unless someone has a question. But pretty much it's been a very interesting day. The markets are trying to lift. They're trying to be more positive. And I guess the big news overnight, really in the political arena, was the polls in the suburban areas around the cities. The women voters in August were 10% in favor of the Democrats. and it swung 27%. Now they're 17% in favor of the Republicans. So that's a big shakeup. That's a demonstrative move. And so that could give us the election that I keep on thinking we're going to see, the 1871 blast. 1871, not 1971. 1871 blast for the Republicans. Talk about power, power. Action, 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 power, power. So, I guess that's about it, traders. We're going to get out of here. Get prepped for this. I got to put more options, and I got some things I got to do. So, this is Doc. Everybody unless I have a question out there, we're going to jump. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later, traders. Have a safe and smart weekend. No questions? All right, we're gone. Signing off. Still no question.